Good day, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Military and Foreign Affairs Network. I'm your host, the voice of reason. In today's ongoing coverage of the continued fighting taking place inside of the former state of Ethiopia, we're going to look at the new punitive invasion of the Afar region by the Tigrayan Defense Forces. So, as we know, within the vicinity of Abala, Afar regional forces, possibly being supported by Ethiopian state military personnel and possibly even Amhara militia units, crossed to the west of Abala and proceeded towards Mekelle. This force, at a certain point, was interdicted as it had entered the Tigray region, was attacked and defeated and pushed back towards Abala and back into the Afar region. Since that attack has taken place, there has been a buildup of Tigrayan defense forces and a fairly significant wide spectrum push into the Afar region has been renewed by the Tigrayan defense forces. We know that Abala has been taken by the TDF, and if not enveloped by the TDF, and forces of the Tigrayan defense forces are now pushing to the northeast and to the southeast of Abala, and at the same time, we are seeing forces of the Tigrayan Defense Forces push towards this town as well, Berhale. And we are anticipating that town could possibly be seized. Again, very small town, but obviously it would appear that it would be of a strategic necessity for the Tigrayan Defense Forces to possibly seize control of this town. As you can see to the northeast, a bridge to the west, southwest of the town, another bridge, and if these routes into the Tigray region can be protected, that would give the Tigray region more strategic depth in terms of countering any sort of these operations by the Afar region slash the Ethiopian state into the Tigray region proper. But that is the current information we are receiving out of the region. It's a fairly significant operation. It appears to be possibly two to three pronged advance into the Afar region. And again, I would say this both serves as a punitive attack, while at the same time it also could possibly create a more permanent strategic depth if the Tigrayan Defense Forces decide to remain in the Afar region and create some sort of buffer zone running from Berhale down to just east of Abala. But we will continue to monitor that situation and report. Again, it's not a huge force of Tigrayan Defense Force personnel that is entering the Afar region. It numbers probably in the thousands, not obviously the tens of thousands of the forces that have entered the Amhara region. So the fighting in the level of resources that the Tigrayan Defense Forces are putting into the Amhara region are much more significant than any operation the Tigrayan Defense Forces would conduct inside of the Afar region. I've talked about the issue with supply, and quite frankly, the Tigrayan Defense Forces would be on a better foot in terms of being able to supply its forces within the vicinity of Abala and maybe 10-20 miles east of Abala than Ethiopian federal forces would be in supplying its forces in the Afar region. Because if you look at the map, obviously you're looking at about a 20-mile distance from Mekelle to Abala. So again, the ability to supply those forces that are operating on that front just east of Abala would be much more easier for the Tigrayan Defense Forces to resupply itself than even the federal forces, the Ethiopian federal forces, its allies operating in the region. Again, very desolate area. Not a lot of very large towns. I would say that in terms of just the largest urban settlement or town or city, which is Samara. If we look at that, air base and supply nodes and what have you, that in its range from the uh, the area of the fighting that's going on near Obala is 136 miles. So again, fairly a significant challenge on the part of the Ethiopian government to support forces that are fighting inside of the Obala region or the Obala area near the town of Obala in the Afar region. And again, much more easier for the Tigrayan Defense Forces to support itself in operations near Abala and east of Mekelle. We do know that there has been some units pulled back from the front, meaning the Afar region. I'm sorry, the Amhara region, in which some of these units have been pulled back for rest and refit and will be redeployed later. But there are significant forces in Mekelle, and it gives the Tigrayan Defense Forces the opportunity to launch attacks and especially create strategic depth just a few miles across the Afar border. And in all probability, because of the nature of the attack that was launched several days ago by the Afar region in support of the with the support of the Ethiopian military into the Tigray region. Again, we'll probably see a longer-term force of the Tigrayan Defense Forces remain in the Afar region, at least setting up some sort of defensive positions to not allow the Tigray region to be penetrated again by these militia forces. So that is what I anticipate to be seen. We continue to see a buildup of forces in the Afar region. We continue to see build up, even to a lesser extent, near Western Tigray. So we could possibly be seeing something getting ready to occur there as well. But again, the Tigrayan Defense Forces continue a significant force buildup of forces in the area and look to possibly go on a fairly significant offensive at some point in the near future. When that will occur, we don't know yet. Will it be a westerly offensive? Will it be more towards the south into the Amhara region? We just don't know yet. That would be up to the Tigrayan Defense Force General Staff or now the Tigrayan Army General Staff to figure out and launch said operation. Also to report, it is interesting to see the body politic inside of Addis Ababa. So what we're seeing now in terms of Ethiopian politics, we are seeing collaborators of the Ethiopian federal government that occupied the Tigray region now being arrested. So these were once supporters of the Ethiopian federal government who were in support of this so-called law enforcement operation, which obviously morphed into something far, far, far greater than an actual law enforcement operation. But we have seen some of these key leadership individuals that were placed in positions of power inside of the interim government of the Tigray region, put there by the Ethiopian state, and these individuals are now being arrested by the Ethiopian state, and these are in fact supporters or once were supporters of Abiy Ahmed and the Prosperity Party, and they're now finding themselves in prison. And one of the methods of incarceration of these folks are so-called hate crimes. So these individuals that are being arrested for spreading hate. So that's an interesting charge to be arrested for spreading a natural human emotion. Let's face it, all humans hate something at some point. It may be you hate broccoli, or you hate green beans, or you hate the way someone smells. Hate is a natural emotion. And when a political entity has the ability to take the word hate and criminalize it, you have a very serious problem on your hands. Have a good day, everybody.